Mr. President, Galina Merkulova, I'm deputy head of the media resources of the international social movement, the other Ukraine. We represented the interests of millions of Ukrainian citizens in the Ukraine itself, unfortunately still under the control of the Kiev regime, as well as in Russia, European countries. We have opened 55 branches of our organization. Our movement believes that, the other Ukraine believes that the only way to save Ukrainians from the criminal, illegitimate regime of Zelensky, which has usurped the executive, the legislative, and the judiciary authorities, is to unite the two peoples, the Russian and the Ukrainian. What are the conditions for you to begin the negotiations with Kiev? If not with Zelensky, then with whom? One more important aspect. Right now, Ukraine sees the persecution not only of the Orthodox Church, of the Russian Orthodox Church. It is basically eliminated. What do you think about that? Do you think that the position of the Russian Orthodox Church has been undermined? Yes. Okay, now, first and foremost, please sit down. About the illegitimacy of the regime, I have already spoken on the topic. As I understand, the inspirator of this movement, is this an organization or the other Ukraine? It's a movement. Okay, it's a movement. Inspired by Viktor Medvedchuk? Yes. Yes. We don't see each other. But I know that he also thinks that. Why is the regime illegitimate? And I'll repeat myself once again. The constitution of Ukraine does not have an indication of a possibility of the extension of the mandate of the president, even during the martial law. There is just one authority, that is the representative, the council, that is Rada, the parliament, and their mandate can be extended during the martial law if necessary, without elections. And I understand that you know it. The thing is that the government, the whole governance in Ukraine is built around president who appoints the downward executives and authorities. That is the leadership of all intelligence and army institutions. So if the first, if a president loses legitimacy, the same happens downwards. So whatever they do, when they execute his orders, they become the accomplices in his illegitimate actions. That's first thing. Now, as for the preconditions for negotiations, we don't have any. We're prepared to hold the dialogue without preconditions. However, on the basis of what we have already agreed upon, and I have said it 100 times, what we have agreed on during the negotiation process in Istanbul at the end of 2022. Also, regarding the reality on the ground right now. We have presented the position of the Russian Federation. That was presented also during the June statement at the Russian Foreign Ministry. I don't want to repeat myself. It all has already been presented. If not with the head of the regime, if he's illegitimate, then with whom? You know, if someone runs through an election campaign and proves his legitimacy, we're prepared to talk to anyone, even with Zelensky. But right now, if the Ukraine truly wants to go through a peace settlement, they're capable of doing that. They can organize this process in any way they want. But we can sign an agreement only with a legitimate person. And Rada and the chairman of Rada are legitimate, are the only legitimate people. But they're completely under control of the head of the state. But it's a formal issue. They can organize it in any way they want, but we need to sign this document only with a legitimate representative of a legitimate authority in the Ukraine. There was a question about the Russian Orthodox Church as well. Yes. You know, what's happening with an Orthodox Church, that's unparalleled. This is a blatant violation, an outrageous violation of human rights rights of believers. The church is being tortured. This is akin to being slaughtered. And everyone in the world prefers not to notice that. And I think that those who are doing that will get a boomerang effect from that. They're tearing the church apart, but they're not even atheists. Atheists are also people who believe something. They believe that there is no God. But this is their belief, their conviction. And these are not atheists. These are people without any beliefs, godless people. They're ethnic Jews, but has anyone seen them in a synagogue? I don't think so. They're not Orthodox as well, because they're never present at a church, and for sure they don't follow Islam, because we don't see them at the mosque. These are people without kin or memory, with no roots. They don't cherish what we cherish, and the majority of the Ukrainian people cherish as well. They won't go to church, they will go to the beach. And I think it's their choice. And I think that at some point in time, they'll remember this. And the people in the Ukraine, and the majority of people in the Ukraine, have something to do with the Orthodox Church. They will evaluate their actions.